Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. So today we have a very, very special guest. So originally we were going to do this as a live stream, but we had some technical difficulties. Y'all know how that be when it's your first time at something. You know, this is my first time attempting a live stream. So we're going to try to bring that to you in the following week. But in the meantime, we got an interview here, a preview of what that will be like. Talking with the guy who's from Germany, who's been living in Germany, an American guy. So if you want, go ahead and introduce yourself, and we're going to get into some deep topics, uncut, about Germany. Go for it.
What's up, everybody? Dave over here. How you doing today? What's up? So I just wanted to talk about, I'm over here in Germany, hanging out. Been out here for a couple years.
Okay,
just
so...
tell, how it is, uncut, raw, unedited, and see what you guys think.
Yeah, loving that, loving that. All right, so tell them about how you first came to Germany, because you're an American brother, born and raised in the USA. So give them that backstory for them.
How I came to Germany. Pretty long story short, I was out partying one night, and, if you know anything about partying in some of the big cities in the U.S., they got these au pairs that be out. These rich people have these au pairs. And
them au pairs.
A lot of these au pair girls.
So hold on, real quick. I'm going to tell them what an au pair is. So an au pair is like a young female typically from Europe or, somewhere in South America, who will go to a different country and basically be like a nanny. They live with the family in the foreign country that they go to. And a lot of them come from like Germany, France, wherever, basically, all over. And only rich people have these. Like if you're, not upper class, you won't have an au pair in America. So go ahead. Tell them about the au pairs.
Yeah, so most of the au pairs that you'll meet, I found, in my experience, most of them are Germans because they got like a couple agencies and stuff like that, and they advertise. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, most of them, I would say, are Germans, and then after that, you'll get a lot of them Scandinavian ones too. Yeah,
so you were meeting some of them.
French, but more often than not, a lot of these girls use that program to come over for a year or two, and most go back, but some stay, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I met one of these girls at a party. And
this is on the East Coast, right? In the East Coast of America.
On the East Coast, yeah. This is on the East Coast. I was on the East Coast at that point. And we just hit it off, and I ended up coming over here.
Okay.
Pretty much long story short. I mean, I can go into details on the next.
Yeah. You can break that down a little bit more in the following interview.
Pretty much long story short, that's how I ended up over here.
Okay. I got you. And once you got into Germany, what was your first impressions? Was there some kind of a culture shock arriving there from the East Coast of America to Germany? Did you go to a small town, or were you in a capital? Were you in Berlin or Munich, something like that?
I mean, I went to one of the top, I landed in one of the top cities in Germany. I don't really say which one, but
okay, so you're in a big city in Germany. You didn't go to like some village.
Top four.
Okay, I got you. And what was that like compared to the East Coast living? How would you compare that to German living?
I mean, it's another planet over here, man. I mean, some people speak English, some people don't. It's about 50-50. It depends on who you talk to. Older people don't really speak that well, but younger people do speak well. You just get over. It was my first time coming over here. It was just shocking. You just really don't know that much.
So hold on. Let me get this straight. So when you moved to Germany, you had never visited Germany before. Is that correct?
No. I did.
Okay, you had visited on vacation. Okay.
I'm not that adventurous.
Yeah, you're not that crazy. That wouldn't even be adventurous. That would just be stupid. If you've never even been to a country, why would you commit yourself 100% to it? Unless
I came over to check it out for 10 days initially. I came over to see her and check it out for 10 days initially, just to, get a feel, because, Google can only tell you so much, and So I wanted to come over, see how I felt walking around the place, how people treated me, standard of living, how much things cost, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, it was my first time over, in Europe, and it was interesting. You could see directly from the plane, everything is different. It was crazy. So, yeah, it was cool. First 10 days here, ate out every day, follow the traditions, go to the bakery in the morning, just order different foods, walk around the mall, see what kind of stores they have, stuff like that. I think I went out to party maybe like 1 or 2 nights.
So you weren't affiliated, you didn't come over with like the government, you weren't working for the U.S. military or anything like that when you came to Germany. I think that's important to say in case, people get the wrong impression. You didn't come with that kind of a support system. Is that correct?
I came over with practically no support system. I'm a civilian,
Oh, okay. You were always a civilian. You were never...
Always civilian, never military, nothing like that.
Because that's going to change the experience, because I know a lot of, military brothers, shout out to them, are in Germany right now, and they have one experience. So this is a brother who came from the East Coast of America, and he went to Germany. I guess you were in your 20s, I guess, mid-20s, something like that?
Yeah, my late 20s.
Okay, so came over to Germany in his 20s, didn't already speak the language, and he's just been surviving over there. Is that correct? You didn't speak German?
No, when I first came the first 10 days, of course I didn't speak any German, know nothing about German. I knew nothing, man, just a little Google and then that's it,
Okay, wow.
You just get over here and just kind of see what's going on. I just came as a little recon mission just to see, her and see how the standard of living over here there was. That's it. And then, made the decision to come over here and get this thing a shot.
All right.
So I'm still here.
All right, great. So that brings us to the topic of, the title of this video, is Germany a good place for blacks, would you say?
I mean, that's a loaded question.
you know I'm gonna do that to you. That's what I do, man. I gotta give you a loaded question.
That's not a question that's just cut and dry. There's a lot of different facets to that question. And
well, break it down a little bit. Tell me, for example,
as far as it depends as far as business, as far as travel. Everybody's into different things, so it's a real loaded question to answer.
True.
Say,
Well, I'll put it like this then. We'll break it down into different things. What is the treatment like for you, mid-20s or whatever, African American, moving to Germany? How were you received by German people in general? Maybe you can give me some examples. Think back to your first couple of weeks in Germany, first year. What stood out, or what did you notice as far as people relating to you?
I mean, there's nothing really. First of all, I would like to say that there's nothing really extreme. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you land here and start walking around, start trying to do things, everybody's pretty respectful, especially, when doing business and everything. No one's like, really, at least in the big cities, no one's like staring at you.
Okay.
There's there's Africans around and stuff, so it's not like, no one's treating you bad. No one's saying anything to you. When you come off the plane or anything, it's just, especially in the big cities, you just go about your normal business as if you were in America. The only thing is, people just speak another language, and the stores are different, and the products are different.
So hold up. Are you saying that there's no exotic factor? Are you saying walking down the street, you're not getting attention for being black? They're not looking at you like, oh, a black guy. That's not happening in the big cities in Germany?
Not in the big cities. There's other Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, people from Congo. There's other Africans here. You're not really like special just being an American guy. And, they can't really even just tell the difference when you're walking down the street. They don't know, they don't know black people like that. Oh, that's the guy from Nigeria.
Nah, hold up. That's not what I heard. I heard they can tell based on the way you dress whether or not you're American or African. Is that rumors, or is there some truth to that? Is there a big difference in an American dress style versus, an African dress style, or?
Not really, because like I would say 90% of German people can't tell the difference between an American, or African American, and an African from Nigeria, whatever it is. They can't really tell that. Some of them can, but it depends again on.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? Depends on your features. It's not even about style because I mean the African guys wear the same. You know you know how America is very imitated as far as sports or a lot of different things, movies, rap, whatever. You know they do a lot of the same stuff or copy some of the same stuff that they do in America. So and there's not that many. Black people. Yeah, there are, but it's not that many black people here that they have like a large enough sample size to tell the difference between this person and that person and the other person. It's not like that.
But what about the accent? That should give you away right away. You know, you sound American to me right now listening to you. So,
all right.
And can they tell based on the accent?
Of course, right. So that's where
Okay.
that's where the difference comes in. So. You know, you do notice that there is this thing called like American preferential treatment. You know, American privilege. You do have American privilege living abroad.
Okay.
It's been talked about on Facebook. You know, I don't think it's.
So you see that in Germany? That's a real thing.
It's pretty much almost everywhere. I think it's all over. I think I think your mileage might vary per country, but I think there is an American privilege anywhere you go over here. You know, I mean, people kind of treat you a certain way or talk to you a certain way until they hear that English. As soon as they hear that English come out of your mouth, it's
Oh, okay. So you're saying initially when you're received by people, Germans, you know, they really can't tell whether you're American or African or whatsoever. But once they hear you speak, you know, you get their attention and they realize, you know, this guy is a little different or something like that. Is that correct?
Right. That's right. That's exactly
okay.
Right.
And then that kind of kicks in that American familiarity or whatever kicks in.
It changes the whole dynamic of the relationship and the conversation and
okay,
maybe even as far as to say respect levels.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. And you know, back to the question. So during your first year in Germany, did you really notice anything, or was it basically the same as being in America as far as, you know, interacting with the local people? Did you have any incident where you were like, wow, I can't believe this happened, or like, oh, this would have never happened in America? Anything like that during that year, or even now, you know, anytime since you've been there, any situations where you were like, wow, this would have went down differently had I been back home?
There's 5 million of those. Things here just run differently.
Okay.
I mean, even going on the train, man, things run differently.
But has there been anything like directly related where you kind of feel like this happened because of my race, or
okay.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I was trying to lead you there, you know.
In the first, in the first year I was here.
Well, not necessarily first year. If nothing, the first year, the second year, whenever it occurred, you know, you can explain that.
I mean, of course, you always have. I've definitely had some, instances of racism over here. You know, of course, traveling abroad, you're gonna hear about stuff like that. But you hear about that. Of course, you have problems here with the clubs.
Okay, speak to that for us, because everybody, you know, has never been to Germany and they may not be aware of what goes down at some of the clubs in Germany.
Yeah, pretty much at the clubs, it can be, they can and will discriminate, against black people or anybody that's not German. If you're not, it's not always like that. It's not every single club.
Sure.
But it depends on what area you're in, the level of the club. If it's a high-end club, if it's a mid-level club, if it's a black club, they just kind of, and it's not even like, you don't fit the dress code. You just don't fit the look that they want.
You just not the clients they want. They're not going for your clientele. It's like that.
There's no but you. There's no more black people in the club. Some places.
And are they blunt about it? Because we all know this kind of thing is a worldwide thing. This can happen in America, all over, but it's very subtle in America. So, for instance, they will pick on the way that you're dressed or something like that, or sometimes maybe they'll say it's just a private party. That's very rare nowadays in America. It happened more, 15 years ago. Is that basically the same thing in Germany, or did they basically tell you like, hey, you should try a different place?
No, I mean, I've seen that actually. Now that you mentioned that, I mean, I've heard them say you should try a different place. I heard that only once though. But here's the normal thing. If you do get denied,
okay.
If you do get denied from the club, the bouncer won't even check your ID. They don't check your ID, so you don't even have a chance to prove who you are, what you are. They're not even interested in who you are. They just look up and down and say, not tonight. And then you say, yeah, but why? No, I said so, not tonight. That's it. There's no explanation. There's nothing. They just kick you out of the line, and then they just let other people in. And you notice, of course, and no one's stupid, you notice the pattern. You have to be in here for a while. You just notice the pattern of what they do to people at the clubs. Or if they do let you in the club, you receive a grilling. No problems tonight, okay?
So do they keep? So if they do let you in the club that night, are they going to be mean mugging you the whole time? Are they going to have like a bouncer staring at you?
Once you're in.
Okay.
No one's staring at you. When you get problems at the door, hey, listen, no problems tonight, okay? Stuff like that.
Wow, that's crazy. That wouldn't be acceptable in the States. Nobody's trying to open herself up to a lawsuit like that, because you can obviously get sued very easily in America when it comes to these kind of racial things, especially if it's blatant, very overt, which it usually isn't. But wow,
it's not everywhere. It just depends on where you go out. But people try to sweep it under the rug and say, well, you shouldn't be going out there anyway, and all kind of stuff like that.
So would you say that's like, what, maybe 20% of the nightlife venues, or?
It's going to vary per city.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's going to vary per city.
In your experience, yeah. Just speak to your experience.
And I would say, give me just 1 second to think. Maybe 1, 2. I would say at least it's over 25%.
Wow. Okay. So it's significant. So it's an established thing where, this is how we operate, and nobody's really doing anything about it.
I'm not going to sit here and say that it's impossible for you to get in. But if you just come here as a tourist and they don't know you, or they don't even see your face a couple of times, then you're going to have problems. You got to, it's a whole strategy. You just can't come as like a foreigner, relaxed, well-dressed, with your pocket full of money, and show up here and just go inside. That you don't have that privilege.
And do they care if, let's say, you speak German fluently? Will that help you, or not really?
I think it could. If you speak German fluently, it can. Probably not, because once they say no, it's generally no, because they don't like to go back on their decision. They don't like to go back on the decision. Once they say no, it doesn't matter if they're wrong or right. No is no.
They stick into their guns.
They stick to their guns, even if they're in the wrong.
Wow.
So, only thing you could do, for example, I'm pretty cool with some of the bosses, some of the club bosses out here, and sometimes they get new door people. So, one time, one of my boys' club got some new door people, and he didn't inform them that I was coming through.
Oh wow!
Went up there, and it's one of these, one of the top places.
So that's how they operate. They're like, all right, we're not letting in foreigners, but this guy, he's all right because we know him. But don't be letting in some more. Just him. He's the only one. Okay.
This one or guys, it's generally, if I go out to, especially if it's one of those tight clubs, you know what I mean, like hard doors. Black guys are only getting in, or foreigners are only getting in if they know you or somewhat familiar with you. They're not letting in six black guys in there with a pocket full of cash. You can come here, like I said.
So it's not even about money. It's just about what kind of clientele they want in the club. It's just straight discrimination. That's all it is.
It's just straight discrimination, straight up.
Okay.
Up. You be Wall Street guys, and then 6 Wall Street guys can pull up and not get in.
That's crazy, man. I never would have known that. If you hadn't broke that down. The only thing I've ever experienced that was similar was you know, in Japan, they kind of have something similar where certain venues, they really don't care how good your Japanese is. They don't care, you know, who you know. It's just like, this is only for Japanese people kind of club. And it's not, you know, they'll say the same thing to a white guy. They'll say it to a black guy. They'll say it to, and maybe even a Filipino. If you're not Japanese, they really not trying to mess with you. So that's really interesting, man, to see that from both of these countries. So I don't want to cut you off, but, you know, when we do the next video, we're gonna break down some other topics, like, you know, what are the women like? Because we didn't really go into that too much. What it's like dating them, and, you know, how to meet them and that kind of thing. So I think we could focus on that in the next one. And if anyone has any comments, anything that we didn't cover in this video, something you would like to see, and maybe you won't be around for the live chat, you can leave a comment below, and we'll try to incorporate that in the next one. I'll make sure that I ask them. So thanks for your time coming through today. Anything you want to say to the audience real quick?
All good. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. I got a lot more information to talk about. You know, a lot more things, a lot more topics. So
great.
Looking forward to being on the show again.
Great. We're just getting started. All right. So hit that like button on your way out, man. The brother came through and you know, gave us some good game. And stay tuned. All right.